So I'm kind of thinking about trying to redo the fuel injectors. I've never done them before. I've never played with them. I actually don't really know the first thing about them. And so I figure, it wouldn't hurt to have a look. And see what we see, if we see anything at all. There's a big part of me that thinks to myself, you've gone this far, so why not go all out? And of course I wouldn't be wrong. I never am. But that's not true. But I don't know, like I said, I don't know the first thing about fuel injectors, and corollary to that is I also don't know anybody who knows anything about fuel injectors. I've had plenty of people tell me that they do, but I know their backgrounds, and I can't imagine what they would know about them, given what I know about them. And so, maybe we'll pop the shields off and just, poke around. What do you think? Come along. So here's what I see. These fuel lines are pretty rigid. I'm guessing they're what hold the fuel injectors in place. There's a little bit of wiggle in there, but I assume that's just because there's O-rings. It looks like you would take out these two 12 millimeters here, but then that's not going to be enough to lift this. Because you got a hard pipe that comes all the way up onto here, and so you'd have to take out that 10 millimeter, and then you got a flex hose here, and then another flex hose deep down inside there, and so maybe that would be enough to pop the fuel rail off, and then from there be able to get access to the fuel injector. The scary part is that hose feels pretty solid, I mean, it flexes. Not flexes, it rotates, I mean. So maybe back here, it'll just flip up. Wanna try it? May as well keep the 12 millimeter out, we might need it. Okay. Oh, fuel everywhere. Who would have thought that it would have contained so much fuel still? Ah, you fuck, give it to me. Huh? So? It's my first look at a fuel injector. Now I suppose before we get too crazy, we might figure out whether or not the fuel injector seal kit that we got from Velcro is in fact correct. Because that would be my luck. Man, there's a lot of shit down in there. And with all those big seals in there, you think it'd be hard to... Man, I may have opened up a can of worms on this. Look at how much grit is down in there. Dang it. Okay. Oh. Let's look at our seal kit. This is the fuel injector O-ring set that Rock Auto sent. Before we open it up, let's kind of have a look and see. You know, and it looks like that one's the same. I don't see that middle. Oh, well, that's an O-ring, but it doesn't, huh. And then it does look like there's an O-ring there. Can you see that? That would fit here on that edge there. I really got to learn like camera angles, relearn camera angles. This is insanity. And I don't know what these big orange O-rings go to. However, the head gasket set that I bought from Velcro came with ones that were very similar. Which is, see that? Come on, let me see the screen. Which is interesting. Also came with those, and I see some of those in this kit. And also came with those. Also. Which you may have seen a few episodes ago, where the, I'm sorry, I don't know what order these are going to come out in. These are the washers, sealing washers for the head cam caps, the two front bolts that go in there. So I do see this bottom, I do see this O-ring, I don't see this one. But since I look at these down here, I'll try to get some B-roll for you. They don't look like they do anything. The fuel rail pushes down. Let's see, this O-ring here goes into the fuel rail. And so that makes a seal there. And then this O-ring here goes down into the intake manifold and makes a seal there. This doesn't seal anything any more than it just maybe is like vibration, or keeps it from moving around vertically in the space. I suppose without that rubber right there, it could potentially go further up into the fuel rail, and then yeah, I don't know. So, okay, it looks like we've got the, boy, there's a lot of shit down inside there. Wow. Anyways, it looks like we've got the O-rings, so I'm not worried about that. Now the second question is how the hell do you clean a fuel injector? I know they got machines, you know, but I don't know. I don't know if this is something that we could do at home. You know, can I just toss these into the ultrasonic cleaner? You know, the other thing is too, now that I look at this, I don't know how well you guys could see that. If you pull this O-ring off, you really risk sort of decapping that fuel injector there. Oh, that's scary. Well, I guess the damage is already done. We have no choice now. Oh, no, it came off all right. I get like this when I don't know what I'm doing. All inquisitive. I mean, it's interesting to learn, you know. I mean, obviously we're here to learn. May as well just die if you're not willing to learn stuff, but anyway, so I'm gonna do some research on my end, and we're gonna see if this is something that we can clean at home. How do you even test these? I labeled that one 3. It's not 3. That's number 2. Let me go fix that. So as far as this other side goes here, get this thing flipped around for you. I haven't looked at it yet. It actually doesn't look quite as difficult. The fuel rail doesn't appear to be bolted down anywhere. It looks like just the two 12mm bolts that are holding it down are the only thing that support it. And so there's some flexibility still in those hoses. So hopefully we can position all that stuff out of the way. Come on, baby. Oh, come on. There you go, Toots. You bitch. All right, let's see if we're right. Oh yeah, easy peasy. Lots of movement there. Not so much there. Oh, fuck, more fuel. Okay, so this one is cylinder number 1. don't know if this matters, marking them, I mean. You know, I've seen reference to people sending them in and having them flow matched or whatever they do for performance applications. I mean, obviously we're not going to go that far. And so, finally, we're at the actual cylinder 3. Okay. Look at how much debris is down in there. That one's pretty clean. There you go. Yep, lots of debris. So the Felpro gasket kit, hold on. The Felpro gasket kit came with a bunch of gaskets, obviously. And so it's got the non-California exhaust manifold gaskets that we had to buy separately. Looks like it's got an EGR gasket. Hope that's in frame for you. EGR. Maybe that's a throttle body. Ain't this throttle body. Probably one of those, huh? And some of these other ones, I don't know what they are. I've never seen them before. Well, think we ought to change the throttle body? We'll probably have been the first people in there. Definitely we're going to change out the EGR. I've seen them leak after smoke testing them. So, because the kits come with it, I just do it. I suppose we may as well. Anything else under there? I'm working backwards here so you folks can see. Can you see? Can you see what I did with my 10mm? Ah, it's here. You know, next to Mr. Steamy, this is my most favorite tool. This thing is an absolute powerhouse. Best money I've spent. It's strong enough to take off axle bolts, which I think is about the, oh, we're glad we changed this. Anyway, strong enough to take off the axle bolts on a Subaru. Nuts, axle nuts, sorry. And good enough for me. Yeah, we're glad we're changing that. I actually do think somebody's been in here before. I'm reasonably certain I didn't tear that. Maybe I did. Maybe I'll see it when I watch the footage. Then the question is, do we have a match for the old gasket. I'd say that's it, huh? Yep. Pulled the first one, got lucky. Okay, so while we're here, should have disconnected the electrical first. Cool. Hey, look, we've got this nice gas-soaked towel here for us. And I do like these metal washers that Subaru uses. Washers, gaskets, these crush gaskets. These magnetic. Ferrous. Nope. Aluminium. Okay. I do like these, but those ones work too. So that's what we'll use. Yeah, somebody's been in there because it's clean. Actually, we know that because we have a receipt for it. I don't know how you're going to charge that much money to clean a throttle body and not give them a new gasket. Did you guys see what I did with those bolts? Is this them? That's the right thread. Tis the right length, so it must be them. God. I like putting a little anti-sneeze on these. Not strictly necessary, but all right, gasket's on, she's ready to go. Okay, and now for the throttle body. Did you guys see how good that cleaned up? I did one of those real naughty mega no-nos on it. I used one of those Scotch Brights on a die grinder, you know? I understand why everybody has beef with those. I get it. They do a nice job. You know, how are you supposed to, how are you gonna complain about that? So how did this go? Like that? Oh, probably in your guys' way, huh? like so. So now that it's all in position, let's put a little bit of anti-seize on here. Anti-seize gives me the warm fuzzies, but I think I've said that already. Boy, working over the top of this thing for you guys is a real pain in the ass. Okay. All right, so now that those two are in, we can pull out these other two. Get a little pookie on those. So, I would never advocate using an impact to tighten stuff down. It's got its place, sure, especially if you're in a shop where time is money. But here, that doesn't fly. One of the things that I like about this the most is that you've got this switch here. And let's see, where's it at? Right now it's set on 1, 2, 3, and then intelligent. And intelligent is full power in reverse, but it's load sensing. And so when it sees that it starting to make torque, it stops, which is great for doing long bolts like this. So and that's it. Pretty handy. I don't always do that. Just an easy way to make them, you know, finger tight without actually having to sit there with your fingers and do the thing. Okay. Connections are all secure. All right, so I guess that wraps up the intake. I'm gonna need to do some research and probably gather some equipment if we are to try to rebuild these fuel injectors. Rebuild, I say that. I wonder how much they are new. I also wonder if there's a filter in them. I mean, I'm half tempted just to throw them in the ultrasonic cleaner and let the pieces fall where they may, but I don't want them to be plugged up, so. Maybe locally there's a shop that does fuel injector work, cleaning. I mean, if it's just a matter of having the machine and chucking it up into it and turning the machine on and walking away from it for 15 minutes, might be worth it, because I'd sit here and flounder with it for a while, and so I'll do some research. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. Hope you had a good time. See you on the next one.